All right, guys, welcome. Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's obviously half an hour later than 9:30, and we're starting now. I don't know whether it's just old man brain, or that I'm properly honouring what I said. But I stayed up late last night, like super late, and I was thinking about the stream and stuff. But it just didn't register to me that I had to go to bed to be up on time. I woke up just now because I'm dog sitting at the moment. I just woke up a minute ago because the dog wanted to go to the toilet and I was scared he was going to poo on my floor. So I was like, all right, I'll go up. I'm going downstairs, and I was like, so I opened the door. It's letting all the heat out. It's freezing cold. And obviously the sun's up. It's nice and bright at the moment, and I was like, "Oh yeah, all right. I'm waking up quite well here actually." And I thought, "Oh, I guess I'll check the time and just have a quick look at the old computer." I was gonna actually refresh the YouTube poll that we did yesterday, and I open it up and I see it's 10 o'clock, and then I was like, "Oh shit, wait, I was supposed to be streaming half an hour ago." So I started streaming. Hello, which is good because, like I said, this is not meant to be, the most ultra hard and fast every fucking day. We're always here doing this over and over and over again. I want to be a bit more loosey goosey about it, and I know that's supposed to be bad or whatever for Twitch because now people won't know when you're live and you're not going to build an audience or whatever. But I'm not interested in building an audience within Twitch, I'm not really a Twitch streamer, so I'm sort of, you want to know when the streams are up, you click follow. That's kind of the way I want to do it now. And it kind of happened there. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really mean to. Right now, I really do want to adhere to something of a schedule because, by the way, why is... Oh, I know why. There you go, that's why. Because of all the microphone testing stuff. There, you guys should be up to hear it now, right? What was I saying? Yeah, I really do want to do it at the moment because the whole PC fund thing's going on, and I've just kicked it back up. Last night, I had a look at the Wooden Potatoes subreddit, which I hadn't seen for a while because my bookmark had been messed up. And I saw someone's done a big post over there saying, "Who's back to streaming?" Yeah, and a lot of you guys are really excited about it. And I want to, be there and whatever, and then I blanked on it. So I don't know, a bit of both, a bit of old man brain, and a bit of, I really do have a different perspective or whatever, which is nice. All right, okay, so yeah, now let's talk about this fund thing. All right, I want to be clear. I didn't really want it to keep. Well, obviously I want it to keep going. Obviously money is nice. Obviously getting a good PC is nice. What had really happened though was. I kicked up the fund on Twitch. 2 days later, I mentioned it on YouTube. So we had 2 days of it on Twitch, right? 2 streams of it in Twitch. Then a YouTube video went out. Okay, I kicked it up. The next day, I mentioned it on YouTube. But the YouTube videos are 1 day back constantly. So today's video that went up did not have the news that we'd hit the target. That's going up today. Today's video didn't mention it at all, I don't think, in the commentary track. I did put it in the description because obviously it's going on. But I just thought, these things come in waves, right? Like people hear the news and they decide if they're going to do it, and if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I didn't really think there'd be that many people who didn't do it yesterday but were going to do it today. Do you know what I mean? Or like latecomers or whatever. And the thing is, the video that I recorded today, where I actually say, "Hey guys, we reached the goal and stuff," which you guys will see in 12 hours. Hopefully you're keeping up with me. The video where the news is that it's done. Even in that video, I've said, "Hey, I'll leave it up 1 more day." So I am going to leave another day of this, but it's crazy. I can't believe it, honestly. We were going for 2,500. We are over £1,000 over that goal now. We're now at 3,700. £3,700 in 4 days for a PC. So I mean, we really can go a bit hog wild, I think, at this point, because don't forget that is in pounds. And even with the economy as it is, I mean, we're getting to silly money now, I think, sort of. To me, it's almost like I would never. Yeah, even at 2.5, I don't think I've ever spent 2.5 on a fucking PC. So I would never spend, under normal circumstances, this amount of money on a PC. Like, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, man, you should be saving that. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a day you need a deposit for a house. You need to be saving that. Don't spend that on a PC. But, you know, that is what it's for. And I'm really struggling to figure out what you guys get back from that. You know, what we can do. My main obsession right now, and you'll see it if you go over to the Spud Discord, is a 3D monitor. Some kind of like way in which I can do a video where I finally enable this grayed out button, you know. This is here on screen. This has been here for so long and I've never ever clicked it or needed it. You know, I've thought quite meticulously about every single one of these settings over the years. Every single one. What impact they have on what piece of hardware, what the cost is to the visuals, and so on and so on and so on. You wouldn't think it right now because everything's been down, but really. And then, except this fucking button here. This button I've never been allowed to press. Actually, I think I did once. When I got my dev kit 1 and I did that that video, I think I was messing with this here, but it didn't actually work. I had to use a third-party thing. It'd be kind of cool to do a proper examination of just how good ArenaNet's 3D was. You know, I've read the reviews online, people saying how amazing it was and how the game was built with a dynamic cursor and all that kind of stuff. And apparently there is a hack that makes it work really well. But as far as I can see, if you are going to do the 3D thing, the other thing is I'm just a little bit nerdy in terms of I'm quite excited about uploading a 3D video to YouTube. Holy shit, what the fuck? Omega Flames has gifted 10 subs. Dude, let's see the names. So we got Zenzia, Coolboy Jake, Kiara Khan, Turvo. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm sorry, I've spoiled it for you all now. Sebastian, Blux, Arouse, Shovel Doge, Turvo, Taz Demaz, and Naratu. Loads of names I recognise there. Loads of names. It's good to see you. It's actually mental. We must have quite a small little crew who's managed to tune in. I mean, I guess I am a bit late, and I'm not announcing these. I need to get back to much more active tweeting. That way I can justify tweeting about these when they go live, which is really important if I'm a more loosey-goosey schedule, you know, if we're being a bit more flexible. It's really important I actually post this shit. That's crazy. You triggered one of those hype trains all on your own, so thank you to you for that. That's crazy. Oh my god, and someone else did it. MTG Einolf. Gifted. Why can't I read this here? Yeah, gifted 5 subs. How do I expand that? Oh, there you go. So he did Yannick Natox, Zizekent, Sitior, Mario 9151, and Zalinu. So hey, congratulations to all of you guys. Well done. Thank you very much. You can't actually trigger a hype train on your own. At least 3 people will have to do something like subs or bits. Well, there you go. Yeah, Darg is sitting there trying to get the free ride. He's been here he's been very present. It's not rolled in. That's awesome. No sub counter, like 500 subs and WP brings back the potato cam. Yeah, I don't have the potato cam on the moment because I just wanted to be a little bit more clean about the stream. I don't know. Like, when we get rid of this PC fund pop-up, right, which I appreciate is very important stuff, and we move that notification thing back up there, I quite like the idea of that's it. Because I want the visuals of the stream to represent my disposition towards the stream, you know. I think that was a bit of a mismatch. I'm really, really happy with the overlays and stuff. And like this sub notification we got and stuff, you notice I'm still here. Some of this amazing custom stuff we had built before is really cool. And obviously I'll utilize any help that people offer as best I can. But there was kind of a bit of a mismatch where, you know, if you have like loads of try-hard overlays or whatever, but you don't even really think of the platform in a try-hard way and you're not there constantly and all that, I think it's a bit, you know. But I don't know. I mean, it's just like I say in so many videos, it's not bullshit. I'm trying to be a little bit more comfortable just trying stuff out, and if that means trying minimal things out, then that's also a valid approach. Do you know what I mean? Turn up your volume. You are lower than music, but actually the solution there is to turn down the music. So hopefully that sounds a little bit better. I'll go to minus 28, actually. I think the minus 28 is probably a good idea. Oh my god, what was I in the middle of saying? Yeah, so the idea of like, because YouTube will recognize 3D videos, and it will allow the viewer to select what mode they wish to view in and all this kind of stuff. And I kind of want to learn about that. I mean, I don't know, because the technology is like kind of dying away in a way, you know. It has proven to be a fad in the eyes of the consumer. So, you know, they're not producing 3D monitors anymore. They're not really producing 3D TVs anymore. You know, I did read a lot about this. Nvidia 3D Vision, which I think is what this checkbox is looking for. Enables stereo rendering for 3D capable monitors. Requires full screen mode. I mean, I don't know, but Nvidia 3D and 3D Vision, which was really the main thing, that got cancelled support in mid-2019. We're at the start of 2021 now, so we're a year and a half on from that, and basically the way that you can still use it is third-party, like, homebrew devs have created, like, grassroots software that just builds it, that hacks it back in as best they can. But even they can't hack back in if you're on a 3080, 3060, 3070, 3090. They can't do it if you are if you're on the latest hardware, which presumably we would be with this fund where it is now. And the whole point of this like 3D idea is a way to utilize more horsepower. You know, you get at Guild Wars 2 does not stress your GPU that much. It just doesn't. So what are you doing to take advantage of all of that, you know, headroom that you've got? Well, you could use some crazy rendering modes, basically, like 3D. But the thing is, but finally, though, I think DirectX 9 games, you can do it on the 3000 series. I think it does still work if the game is DirectX 9, which obviously Guild Wars 2 is. So there's just all this shit going on that I'm not entirely sure about, and I haven't really read the process, and I don't really know how much a good monitor for it is. I've also read that you don't even need a 3D monitor, you just need a high-resolution monitor, which I've actually already got. I have a very high-resolution 1080p monitor. My main monitor that you're watching at the moment is a high-resolution 1440, but the resolution's not quite what you'd expect. So I don't know. But I think high resolution means 240 hertz, not 144. I think it means 240. So maybe I would have to buy something. And then it's a question of like, okay, you really going to spend like a couple of hundred on you know, how much are you going to go up just for a video basically? Because as far as YouTube's concerned, that's kind of a selfish thing really for me. Holy shit, we got a 52k Gravedigger. I guess he was below 50. That was heavy, man. With no rev near me, no banners, 52k. This guy must have low toughness. There's no way. He's taking extra damage. What did our executioners hit for? Yeah. Life reap. Look at how shit this minor trait scales, honestly. I understand why it does. This is another thing. You know the trait video I did? I was thinking traits should... my god, this sub notification. What is going on? I'll read that in a second. I had like a trait rebalance. I wanted this to be more... Get rid of this on the Necro. Oh, well, you can't really do that because it's a minor and it's blah, blah, blah. But I was thinking buff the scaling for the minion elements, right? If you look, the minion one is already a little bit stronger. Well, a lot stronger, really. But, you know, maybe it deserves to be more. Just don't have him healing like mad. Right, what the hell just happened there? Omega Flames again? It's the same guy, right? Wow. Dude, thank you so much. Omega Flames just popped another thing. Mr. Modius got one. Anyenka got one. Chrono's got one. Real Curse got one. And Doc DV got one. Man, that makes me kind of sad. I do know that some of these names that are coming up used to be subs, so that means obviously they dropped during the window, which makes 100% sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, you know, I would do it too. Don't get me wrong. But there you go. So you're back in the house, guys. Right, anyway, yeah, so over to the 3D thing. It's kind of like a selfish thing, because what it's that comment, like I mentioned yesterday, to have a Portal 2 Tyria just sitting there on your screen, on your desk, and all you had to do was just put on some glasses. How cool is that? Honestly. So I read some other things as well. Obviously, the amount of frames that you can push now makes it much more viable as a technology. Apparently, it works really well on OLED displays, but OLED displays weren't really around right when the 3D gimmick was going on. So there was kind of like this tragic thing with 3D gaming, and I suppose with 3D TVs to a certain extent as well. But the OLED was so immersive and so good and worked so well if you had an OLED 3D experience. But OLED came in right as 3D was losing funding and the consumers had made their decision. So there was kind of this mismatch. And I'm sure the 3D fad will come back, but probably like around 2030, maybe even later than that, you know. VR is kind of where people go for stereoscopic gaming now. And it's probably crowded them out a little bit. But so I think as VR finds its feet, people will find that there is still a place for... I think you're going to see a language change over the next 30, 40 years, where people will find a way to express that what we currently call VR gaming is a very, very different experience to traditional or classical gaming, which is everything we've had so far. You know, currently there are a few terms that are sort of being thrown around. I don't think they'll stick. They're not fully expressive of the idea. Words like pancake gaming, stuff like that. Anyway, and again, it breaks down because what people think of as pancake gaming versus VR, you could do pancake games on a 3D monitor with active glasses or passive, whatever the technology is, and it will still work, you know, but you can't... Like, Guild Wars 2 is really suited to a 3D monitor, but Guild Wars 2 is not suited to VR, and never will be. You know, they are distinct. So anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff going on, but I do think that there's a space for it. I think when the fad comes back, there might be a lot more reason to be interested in it. So much more people will be on better CPUs and GPUs, and they'll be able to actually push this stuff. It came a bit early, you know. It was really mistimed, which sucks, but hey, there you go. I mean, you can make an argument that VR was mistimed as well, but I don't know whether I would really subscribe to that. Anyway, going back to my selfishness, what would you really get out of that? You'd get like a video, right? Maybe I could do like 2. I mean, if there was a way that I could play in 3D, record in 3D, render in 3D, and finally when it goes up on YouTube, it just becomes an option for like the one other human being that wants to watch it, then I would totally do that. And can you imagine that? You know, everyone's like, oh yeah, I upload in 720p. Oh my god, you're getting so many more viewers because you're in 720p. And then like by the time 2009 hit, it's like, yeah, I'm uploading everything in 1080p. I'm getting so good here. And then it was like, oh, they enabled 60 FPS, I'm doing it there. And now it's 1440. Oh yeah, I'm a 4K YouTuber. Blah, blah, blah. Like there's this race. You know, I should do that. Just be like the one guy that services in a fringe MMO. Also just happens to have 3D all of his videos. I like that idea. I don't know. I think that's weird and different and special, and that's you know, that is the essence. That is the essence of success, guys. Be different. So I don't know. It's all kind of fascinating to me, and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole. But the idea that just like nobody's really supporting the technology anymore. And it's hard because when you're reading about it now, like you go to the meant to be seen forums and shit like that, you're reading like enthusiasts that are definitely biased in the kind of things that they're saying. I found an interesting Reddit post of somebody who explained that they had never done it before. They just tried it on a whim, and it really blew their mind. And that post meant a lot to me because I was like, oh right, there might actually be something. It's just the main thing as well with this, guys, is it's that ArenaNet were building it. I remember around 2011 at the demos, I remember their commentary about how, like, I use this comment all the time, right? But when you're at Queensdale during the day, you know, like all the little floating dandelions and stuff that are around in your face? Now, that was made with, like, 3D in mind. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of the base UI was made for it to work. So, I don't know. I want to see what they did with it, you know. And ArenaNet themselves obviously aren't thinking about supporting it anymore. And I'm sure that, you know, the mastery UI and a lot of stuff's kind of wacky without these third-party tools. But I'm fascinated by it. And I'm looking at the fact that we have £3,700. That's a lot of money. You could squeeze a little monitor in there, couldn't you? And that's all you'd need, right? Oh, yeah, and you need glasses. I've never worn these glasses, but you need these active glasses. I do think active is the way. And if people don't know how it works, they're electronic glasses that don't have lenses that affect your vision in any way, right? But what they do is, at a very, very fast speed, they black out your left eye, and then they black out your right eye. And then they black out your left eye, and then they black out your right eye. And they do it really fast. So overall, you do lose a little bit of, like, brightness to be wearing them. But they're doing it so fast you can't tell it's happening. And meanwhile, the monitor, while it's showing the left, you are seeing, like, one perspective. And then when it's showing the right, when it flicks to the other, you're seeing the other perspective. So it's just doing this back and forth blink dance so fast that your eyes can't really detect it. And it tricks you into thinking that, you know, there's a 3D vision there. You're getting two fully separately rendered images left and right. And it is the same approach that VR headsets use. And I know how compelling stereoscopy is in those headsets. It is incredibly powerful. And the idea that I could get that for Guild Wars and just like that, like, it really would look. I know how it would look. It would look so good. And I can add a little bit of darkness or whatever. It would look amazing. Why was I never into this years ago? I'll tell you why. Because I never had any money. I did have a friend way back who did pick up 3D stuff. I had an Aussie friend who did it. Maybe I should go ask him if he played Guild. I'm sure he didn't. And I'm sure he didn't do it with this. Because I don't even know. There's you would maybe get multiple videos. Because you'd get one just of the general principle, like, hacked in with the Helix mod or whatever. And then maybe you'd have another one of, like, how the hell you enable this properly. You know, maybe they're totally different. I don't know. It tricks you into having a seizure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm used to his yelling. Yeah, I'm yelling, aren't I? Oh, hey, WP, just watched 30. Sounds quieter than usual. Something changed. Michael just moved. Oh, it was definitely the mic. I'm going mental. People on Patreon are getting, like, a proper clown show at the moment. Because they get the episodes early and they're hearing, like, the next episode, the one that's due up, my pitch is fucked up on it at the moment. I have to redo it because I sound like a chipmunk. Which is obviously not ideal, and it's very funny. Yeah, I'm messing with different music. I think I just need to come to terms with the fact that I've got an awful voice, really. I mean, I don't know, like a grainy voice. Like a distorted, overly loaded mid-range voice that's grating to microphones. I think no amount of EQ will save it. No recording setup will save it. Am I wrong? Please, is there a recording engineer out there? Am I wrong? Please tell me. You hear it, don't you, Mr. Recording Engineer? You hear all the fucking digital harshness and static? And it sounds like it's clipping, even though it never clips on any meters. Like, certain core frequencies are clipping, like, out the ass. And it sounds like I'm on a telephone. You hear it, don't you? Why am I getting that? Why am I getting that on a Babyface and an RE20 or a Shure SM7B? Or even if, you know, I'm not on a dynamic mic, if I go to a condenser mic like a Yeti, why am I getting that? Save me. No, it can be better. There's the problem. There's a problem, Twitch chat. I assure you there is a problem. It sounds like you have a lot of vocal fry. I've never heard that phrase, vocal fry, but maybe you're right. By the way, we are actually doing AP Hunter as we chat here. This festival, let's talk about this festival for a second. I'm so into Guild Wars at the moment. It's unreal. And this festival is, like, so good. I have a baseline of just grind I can do constantly at the moment, because we are slowly working on Continual Celestial Challenger, which requires 8 completions of this for 5 AP, and you can go all the way up to 60 AP. So I've got a baseline where I can just constantly be doing stuff. And there's a bit of regular combat in here. It's fairly entertaining. It's something I can do meaningfully while rambling to you guys. This is awesome, all right? Then there's the dailies that you can get for this, which are nice and quick and easy and basically translate into free money, which is awesome. Then there are the Dragon Response Mission dailies, which you can do, which aren't too long, and I'm really compelled to go for because I want that Delgamore infusion for my dwarf cosplay, so that's good. Regular daily I'm not really pushing for. There's World versus World AFK grind. Well, not really AFK, but semi-AFK grind that I can go for. There's strike missions for the Misty Cape. Oh, by the way, yeah, I did the Misty Cape last night. We have the Runic Cape now. Oh, which I can actually equip onto Arachnia. We can go full Runic on her. You guys ready? Oh. I think we may have to undye it so that it goes to whatever arena it decided. I'm really sorry about the graphics, guys. I'm really sorry, but look at that. There you go. That's the full Runic set right there. It looks a bit naff. The cape texture definitely could use some work. But, yeah, maybe I'll change alchemy here. Oh, except that we are wearing the Super Adventure Box, virtual box headpiece. But I'm happy to have this set done now. Yeah, so there's just such a huge range of things to do meaningfully. I don't think I've ever been in a place where I have, I've had like 4 different areas of the game that I can log in and do daily stuff. Like we were talking about dailies a lot lately, and honestly, I mean, it's really messy and it's not as good as it could be in terms of like really pushing people to earlier areas of the world and stuff. And the fundamental dailies they could definitely do something about. But the way they have a lot of this other stuff set up, I'm really enjoying. I think they found a really sweet spot with DRM's 2 days. I really do. I think they did a good job with that. So, sorry, 2 days. 2 missions a day. That's obviously from my perspective of, you know, being interested in all this stuff. I know a lot of people aren't interested in it. A lot of people don't want the infusion. They don't want the stuff from the new DRMs and whatever. But, you know, I think it's all right. I'm pretty much done with strikes now, though. There's basically no reason for me to do them. Maybe I'll plug a few more in. I don't know whether that crystal currency is going to come back. I hope it does, because it looks a bit weird at the moment. It'd be very nice if during End of Dragons they utilize it a bit more. And you never know if there are going to be more Visions of the Past updates. And I think that would work really well if there was one Visions of the Past after the Icebrood Saga, but before End of Dragons. That would be pretty good. If they did that, maybe they'll add something. You know, I keep thinking, we were talking about Aurora. You know how during Season 3, no one knew that Aurora was coming in? So a lot of us, like, slacked on certain objectives on the maps and certain currencies. And then Aurora got added, and it was like, oh, I've got a heap ton of shit to do. Meanwhile, with Vision, a lot of us knew already, or we'd built the sky scale already, and it was just like doubled up with progression everyone had already done because there was anticipation. I kind of wonder if, and I don't know what item it would be, I don't know how they do it, but I kind of wonder if they will do something at the end of the Icebrood Saga that encourages spending shit tons of these crystals. Fuck. I can't spend 2 seconds just doing this. Loads of these crystals. I think that could be amazing. What is going on with these subs? Omega Flames again. You're a mental dude. Gifted tier 5, tier 1 subs. Are you just trying to roll for one specific person? Songhai, Barry Croissants, Turtle Jesus, Akurai, and Underdark 74. Congratulations to all of you guys. Look at all these freeloaders today. Look at you all. Sitting there, riding the train with your bindles. Unbelievable. That's amazing. Thank you very, very, very much. That's super cool. Oh, look, Doug did get a gifted sub. A specifically gifted one from Killida. So good shit. Let's turn this combat log off here. I'm going to read out the other names in a second. Yeah, sorry about the low volume earlier, guys. Yeah, the PC fund is already full. It is. Please do not feel overly compelled to contribute. I mean, it's such an insane number. I think, you know, I can't really imagine anything that we wouldn't be able to get at this point with it. Aside from the 3D, I don't really know. I mean, I said some stuff as like just super pie in the sky weird nonsense, like the 7.1 thing. I don't know. I really don't. At current prices, you might get one component. Yeah, yeah. So somebody did mention a really cool service where you can basically buy a pre-built, but they'll build it on a stream for you. Not my stream, not Wooden Potatoes. There's another stream, and you would all go watch it. And you would watch them making the Wooden Potatoes build. And the idea of that is if I dump my audience on their channel while they build it, you guys might, like, sub even further and donate even further. And if you do that, that's not to my stream, that's to their stream. They upgrade my PC for free. Which is nuts, and I think that's a cool service, but I also think that's the greediest thing in the world if I were to do that. So I don't know. Is the new machine called the Spud Machine? I guess so, I don't know. Get yourself a proper setup, desk, chair, etc. See, now that's an idea. I do have a really crappy chair. I've never suffered from back problems. Like, people go on and on and on about back problems with gaming and stuff like that, and wrist issues and all that shit. And I've never had them, but I'm wondering if that doesn't mean anything. I'm wondering if my bad back, my bad backrest on my chair and all that shit, it's just like a ticking time bomb. But I don't know. If you guys, like, that's not a fun thing. That doesn't really come back to you guys. And the thing is, as well, like, have you guys seen how much, like, supposedly good chairs are? Have you guys seen how much that costs? It's often an age thing, survivorship bias. Yeah, I don't know. I have a thing where one of my grandparents never went to hospital at all. Their whole life. And they were in their mid-60s, right? They never went to hospital. They never had any issues. And then the first time they went in, they died straight up. So, that's always concerned me a little bit, because it's like you can just live clean and feel like you're healthy and not need X, Y, and Z, and then suddenly it all falls down. Don't get a gamer chair. Yeah, no, I don't really like those racer chair thingies either. I think no, I'm not going to be mean. All right, I'm not going to be mean. Look, if you bought one of those chairs and you sit in one of those chairs and you stream from one of those chairs and you got a big happy smile on your face because you like your racing chair, then you know what? Have fun. That's cool, man. That's cool. I won't let my judgment on the world. But yeah, I think I would get like a boring fuddy-duddy thing. And that's what I was talking about, though. I was talking about, you know, a real chair, not a gaming chair. I was talking about a real chair. They cost so much. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Ozjacko knows what's up. I do. They cost more. You were wondering what other maps they had planned for the Ice Boot Saga. Well, Interior 3D, you can see unfinished map of Norhart Domains. No way! Am I going to do a Interior 3D video? Really? It's in our clients and everything at the moment. Hold on, what if that's a spoiler for some kind of DRM or final instance? Alright, look, if the season ends and we're well into End of Dragon's Press and stuff and that map doesn't appear, I'll do a video. It was a long time ago since I was covering Interior 3D, and I can't remember if I was told to stop. There's been a couple of times where they've... Like, ArenaNet never really says what you can feel or think, right? I can say it, I can sit here, be a partner, and talk all about how terrible Guild Wars 2 is, and it's the worst thing in the world, and, like... I could even be quite insulting, and they will not... They won't come after you. They're very, very good about that, in general. I mean, there was the whole Brazil thing, right? But I think, you know, context is important, blah, blah. Anyway, the point is they're very hands-off. Except sometimes, and it's usually about really weird stuff. Like, when I did videos about how to void jump, you know, how to break out of a map and then log in, log back out, and you're on top of some tower or something. Or when I pointed out that you could look at the location of your mini, and if your mini has clipped through some terrain somewhere, and you're off the nav mesh, when you log out and log back in, you'll be standing where the mini is, right? These little techniques for breaking out maps. I did like those videos, and then like a year later, I got like a quiet little message saying, "Hey, can you not do videos like that anymore?" And I was like, "Oh, Because they consider it to be like me advertising exploits or whatever, I guess, right? And you're not meant to be advertising exploits. Which has always been a bit weird. And the line's always been a bit ill-defined. I remember years and years and years ago, I did a video pointing out how to merge all 3 AC paths. Which to me, as a fervent dungeon runner, that was just something everyone did, really. You know, any real group that you joined, obviously we were merging the AC paths because it was so much faster, and it was already kind of at the point where ArenaNet had stopped properly servicing the dungeons and stuff. People knew it for a long time. And so anyway, I did a video. I had talked about it in multiple videos, because if you merge the paths in the, so to speak, wrong way, and you lock yourself out, you can actually get bonus dialogue about an unimplemented path in which Hodgins visits the twins room. And I discussed the lore and stuff. But, you know, that's kind of like an exploit-y thing, right? It was just like such a ubiquitous, massive thing that everyone was doing. And they never talked to me about that, but I've always looked at that and thought, well, you know what? Like, I don't know. It's weird because there's so many things you could pick at. And it almost feels arbitrary what they go for in the end. This is super snobby, but, you know, I feel like you often hear comedians talking about that, right? Like, they'll tell, like, horrendous, offensive jokes all the time. And then one day a newspaper will pick up one joke and run with it. And it's like, well, okay, so that's the one you went for. But it could have been anything. So what, slow news day? Like, this was the one that caught on? You think I'm not aware of what I've been doing the whole time kind of thing? Like, comedians say that. Like, it almost feels arbitrary what one eventually they supposedly get done in for. And I kind of feel the same way. Like, it's this weird policy that's very difficult to enforce, because to varying degrees, any number of things people are talking about. You know, what if I'm using a trait that is stronger than the tooltip would suggest, right? That is a form of exploit, and yet that happens all day, every day, all the time, you know? It's the difference between acceptable and punishable, says Valen. You knew it was unintended, but at the same time, no one was really punished for it. Yeah, well, so then we've just moved the goalpost. What did they choose to punish or not? You know, now that's the arbitrary layer, almost, you know, that will piss some people off, I suppose, when they get removed for certain things. I don't know. I've never done anything that I knowingly felt was damaging to the game. Everything I've ever done was in good faith. Do you know what I mean? Like, any of those videos I did, I feel like was such, like, the merging of AC, that was such like a, I wouldn't even call it an open secret. It was just like, that was a thing that everyone did. And, you know, and the other thing as well is, like, you know, I'll often do like a Q&A video or something, and I'll be dungeon running in the background, you know, through that 2014-15 era. There might be a dungeon train going on in the background, and we might be doing it. But, you know, is that advertising an exploit? You know, there's so many levels here. But yeah, I've never, if I ever thought, oh, this is a bit dodgy, I don't know whether I should do this, I've either asked for permission or not done it. Like, funnily enough, Guild Wars 1 example, the Guild Wars Toolbox video, you know, which actually now I think is pretty much endorsed, and they've got no problem with, but at the time I asked and they said no, so I didn't do it, you know. And I think that's kind of what it is, you know, to a certain degree. Like, there's a bit of back and forth and respect for one another, and you can kind of, you know, or at least that's the way it should be. If people don't just paint everything with a really fucking broad brush. But hey. Yeah, Sinterklaas, I didn't promote it though. I didn't promote Toolbox. I never made it. I never did it. Speaking of Terraria 3D, yeah, so Terraria 3D, I can't remember if they told me they don't like it or not. I really can't remember. There's been an unfinished map on Yaga Remain in the files, which seems to be a precursor to Biora. Has similar stuff in it, but also some exalted structures. Holy shit, I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch. You're out of... Anybody want some boomer music? Because, you know, 80s music, that's boomer now. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Exalted stuff in Biora. You know, devs stay quiet until there's annex. Well, look, it's often not devs either, by the way. It's community managers and promotional people and stuff like that. It's not devs. You get nostalgia from GTA, Vice City. That makes me so happy. I've never felt more kindred to you than you typing that right there, man. I very often, I haven't done it for like a year or so, but I will very often just put on the GTA Vice City radios stations. Fever FM. That's a brilliant one just to listen to. What? Just go about your life listening to Grand Theft Auto Vice City Fever FM. What else is good? The Rock channel on that game was alright. And sometimes I'll go up to San Andreas as well, but I never really played much GTA beyond those two, so. You got the fever. Obviously, it's all very funny as well. Gotta pay into those rusty brown ring donuts or whatever. I mean, I can't just sit here endlessly quoting GTA jokes. All right, I'm gonna do one more of these, and then we'll look at look at moving on. So yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about in chat? Let's do that now, and then I want to read these names for the PC fund, and then we will go for what the stream is titled today, which is heating up the delves, which should be pretty fun. I don't know if Cato's around, because it was half an hour later than normal. He might have just buggered off. Ooh. Where and when would I like the next fractal to be set? Oh, there's a million places that they could set the next fractal. I would like it to be set on the Pyrite Peninsula of Ore, the day that that orb arrived there. Get on an ArenaNet. You know that's a good enough side story that you could go for it. And if I think I'm right, it's an Elder Dragon hint. Holy shit. Omega Flames, what is going on here? What is going on? 10 again. There's money bags here. I imagine this is Omega Flames. I'm imagining you as overweight, in a tux, leaning back, fanning yourself with a wad of cash. Chortling as you continue to hit the gift sub button. That's how I imagine you right now. Omega Flames. Jesus, and MTG Einov, thank you very much. Jesus, alright, who got lucky this time? What is going on? You guys are building the sub count up massively here. The Trollgun, Soulfire Spam. How many of these people are actually going to resub, though, later? You know, in 30 days. How many? I guess that's on me now, isn't it? I've got to actually do a good job. Soulfire, Noggins, Pierre Nilsson 90, Alexius Y, Targoza, Obco, The Man Called Dave, Tenchi Den, Dat Freelanced. All of you guys came from Omega Flames, so thank him. And then we got Dumark from MTG, Babjer, Miss Whimsy, great name, Ms. Whimsy, Westo Paints, and Million VF. All of you guys got lucky from MTG, so thank you to all of you guys. But obviously, most importantly, thank you to the main guy. Oh, My Neptune actually paying for his own sub there. What a legend. He says, I wasn't in your stream in a year, I think. Must be a time difference. Good to see you, WP. Yeah, Noct had a message on the Spud Discord yesterday where he was like, he was playing some game and he was listening to this stream in the background. And he said, oh, it feels like 2 years ago. I'm like, what the fuck, 2 years? Can time just stop? That would be nice. We got Harry GW as well, paid for his own. Thank you, man. Silu as well. That was half an hour ago. Right, what was I in the middle saying? Oh, yeah. Well, no, there was the fractal thing. We finished the comment, I think. I feel like I'm having some fever dream, but wasn't there another ArenaNet dungeon crawler game that featured Ritlock? Ritlock appeared in another NCSoft product, which was a MOBA called MXM. The gimmick of the MOBA was that you could play 2 champions at once, and you'd swap them in or out. And Ritlock, it used a bunch of NCSoft properties. So all the NCSoft MMOs and games, if you liked characters there, you could see them interacting and playing. And they put Ritlock in it. And so for that reason, I actually covered it. And, you know, each map felt a bit like a different kind of dungeon-y thing. The lore of MXM... Now, let's be clear. The The lore of MXM is not necessarily the lore of Guild Wars, i.e. this is not necessarily canon. But the lore of MXM was that during his time in the Mists, Ritlock had ended up, what was it called? City something. He'd ended up doing this stuff, and that was what was going on. Because MXM was in development right around that time during Season 2, and they kind of blended it together. I also read, what was this? Earlier in the month, before I kind of, before I kicked up End of Dragon's Daily, I was vaguely looking at a Guild Wars 2 thread on Reddit. Didn't Ritlock appear in another game at the moment? Or was it a mod someone made? Come on, someone in chat help me out. What was this? Ritlock appeared in another game. I think it was a community mod, but it was really good. And I remember seeing that thinking, oh, I could do a video on that. Osjeko123 says this is pure grind. Yeah, if you are no life in it like that, you don't have to do this. You could just do this as a part of your daily for the Lunar New Year weapons. And look, I mean, if you're really going for everything, if that is actually what you care about, you know, you've got a decade of annual customs to go for. I didn't even do it last year, so I'm behind everyone else. I might have actually missed 2 years of this. You know, you've got 1,000 AP to build there. Alright? So, you could just spread it out. There's nothing wrong with long-term stuff like this. I can make the choice to grind it if I want, but it doesn't have to be. They added him to Guild Wars 1 as well. No. Ritlock's Critter Rampage was kind of a mini, fun 2D platformer that the devs made in association with Super Adventure Box. Do you know what? I've never actually beat Ritlock's Critter Rampage. I've never actually seen the end of it. I don't know what it looks like. I think Matt might have beaten it. He was always much better at games than me, so I don't know. Oh, there you go. Just check Brawlhalla. That's it. Brawlhalla has a Ritlock mod now, and I think it's quite high quality. I mean, I don't play that game, so I can't attest to it, but I think it's pretty good. And I was vaguely thinking about covering it. Oh, good. I got that song stuck in someone's head. Nice. You think Ritlock was in some other NCSoft game? What, beyond MXM? MXM's a weird community to follow now. I'm always really fascinated by it because, you know, I get really caught up on old Guild Wars shit that doesn't exist anymore. You know, that went away. And, like, because I tasted it, I kind of want it to stay there. Even if it wasn't that good. You know, shit like Reaper's Rumble, right? In Halloween. It's not that good. It didn't taste that good. But I had it once, and because it can't be on the plate anymore, I want it, you know? So, and I'm very aware of how, what's the word? Inobjective I am about lost and cut features. I'm very inobjective about that stuff. But I'm never forced to, like, deal with it. I can't really look in the mirror very easily on that. However, then I look at the MXM community. And, I mean, today's MXM community. And remember, this is for a cancelled game. A dead game. A game that you can't play anymore. And these people are, like, obsessed with it. And they're so furious that it got cancelled. And they think it was God's greatest thing. And blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I sort of, that in them, I see a reflection of myself. Oh man, this is poetry I offer you guys on these streams. In them, I see a reflection of myself. I just said that, unironically, no joke. So yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It is weird to see them still talking about MXM. I don't think it was very good. I think MXM was bad for all the reasons that weapon swapping in Guild Wars 2 is bad from a competitive standpoint. Without a long enough cooldown anyway. I'm not saying it's unworkable, but I am saying it's a bit of an inhibitor in a lot of ways. To readability and kind of, you know, understanding and shit like that. There's some first grader tier poetry, not gonna lie. Well, actually, I think you'll find that how profound you find that depends on what era of human history we're in, you know? If we go back to the fucking 900 AD, I'm pretty sure if I came out with that, they'd be on their knees. Begging me for attention. Do you know what I mean? It's just become a bit cliche now, alright? There was a cut-off point. And look, I said that out of a place of pure inspiration and creativity and eloquence. I wasn't copying anything. So I think I deserve all that credit. Was MXM marketed towards Korean audiences? It might have been, because the fact is, you know, the only place they leveraged their Guild Wars IP. If you want to have a real sense of how little we matter, all right, look no further than the fact that MXM only got Ritlock. All right, that's it. That's the only way in which they leverage Guild Wars. It's almost like they were like, fuck, we've got this game. And all these people in the West play it. Or some people in the West play it. It doesn't really make that much money. All right, just who you want? Ritlock? Who's that? That's what it looks like, really. And meanwhile, they have this cast of like all these other characters. I remember being excited that it might be successful, just on the off chance one of their post-game updates might add something more than Ritlock. So yeah, I mean, from that perspective, that they really just looked at all their other stuff. Is the PC already funded? Yeah, you guys know I mentioned yesterday that when I was like building the UI, it had a crazy number on it, and I said that we were like near that number. That number was $4 grand. It was $4 grand with some random stuff, and we're actually basically on the doorstep of it. So I think it's safe to say it's done. Hey, I'm sure if the game had lived for another 2 or 3 years, they would have added Baby Aureen. What do you think they would have added? Right, that's our last one. We'll read these messages out in a second. It's been years since I last played Guild Wars 2. Anywhere to see what is a good build for each class for the base game? For the base game, you know, I've got to compliment Meta Battle. They've really built a killer open world section nowadays. You might be able to find a core build on there for a class or two. I doubt it. I've been thinking about doing those build videos again. And hitting up the other elite specs. But I'm not sure yet, because I'm not excited about all of them. It's weird. I'm excited about a holo build. Maybe. I don't know. And I'm excited about a core rev build at the moment. But not much else, so I don't know. Right, Kato sent the invite. We'll continue with continual Celestial Challenger later. Let's dip out. If you think about it, yeah, hey Rocker, Guild Wars 2 kind of has a lack of actually noticeable... Wait, Rocker, you're still subbed. Did you re-sub just recently? You weren't subbed through that whole gap, were you? That would really blow my mind if you were. Guild Wars 2 has kind of a lack of noticeable figures that would be epic enough for a crossover. Yeah, I mean, I think Ritlock is the right choice. He's the only one approaching that bar. Maybe you do Logan, but I don't know, like... In the context of a MOBA where you want a good variety of character designs, you know, you don't just want them all to be humanoids. You want something a little extra. Who else have they got? I do think it would probably be a Sylvari that they'd pick. Probably. But even they're very humanoid. You'd kill for Mace to be a thing? Mace on what? On what class? I'm telling you, this Rev build, I'll play Rev today. This is a really fun build. It's so stupid fun, it's unreal. Invoke Torment is so cool. And remember, you don't actually have to play Malix. I like Malix, right? But you don't actually have to. You can invoke Torment when swapping into Dwarf stance, right? As long as you're the Corruption line, you will invoke Torment on that. I'm not in combat, so you can't see it. And you'll get the double proc from Song of the Mists. It's very, very, very cool. I really like this build. And Power Mace. Look at this. Look at the fucking Echoing Eruption, alright? When you're actually out there, and you're playing, you'll be running around on like 20 to 25 might. This will be reading 1.3k on the tooltip. That's pre-crit, ferocity, and all that. Anything that's over 1k, you know is a reasonable power hit. Right, okay, so, PC fund. Oh, one other thing. I do think that I can bump this up a bit. In fact, today we could even try if we're willing to risk a little bit of instability. So, what is our biggest bang for buck? I'm pretty sure it's environment and post-processing. I think those two alone Maybe we can turn off the effect LOD. And textures. Actually, I think these three. I think if we just run... Oh, shaders. Textures or shaders? Which one? I don't want to do all of them. Requires more video memory. No, let's leave the shaders down for now. Let's leave the shaders down. I'm not going to enter the Dark Grinders yet because I've got to read all these names out, Cato. Sorry to you guys. And I want to actually play. I want to produce content. I don't just want to walk through an empty dungeon that you guys have already cleared. So yeah. No, I'm not going to change the sampling because if my GPU is causing it, then I'm fucked. Wait, shaders on medium? What don't you like about max shaders? Quality of shaders, wind, lightning, cheaper materials, fewer textures. They don't actually change. Do you know what? You guys know I said I've been getting into Warhammer. In Vermintide, they have one of the best option menus I've ever seen. It's so good. The devs have a little comment for you on every option of like, there's really well phrased what they think it's doing. They will list out there, okay, this is going to hit your CPU, this one's going to hit your GPU. They've got a really good range of options. They haven't gone mental with it. I'm really, really impressed. Yeah, you see, guys? You see this? This might be actually DirectX 12 that's causing this a little bit. I'm nervous. All right, here we go. Holy shit, Stefan, stop doing this. Stefan is like donated every day. Dude, it's over. Look at it. It's done. Stefan tipped £10, sorry. He says, I know the goal has been reached, but just in case. Thank you very much. All right, let's scroll down here. All right, your Carrison with £2. It's not much, but I wanted to chip in, he says. That was actually on the stream. Thank you very much to you. Okay. MTG Einolf, who's been gifting all these subs just an hour ago, did £40. Thank you so much, man. Who says thanks for the content. You've been crazy. You guys, you money bag guys. Right, and alright, so just before the stream, excuse me, W Prinz, £287. I'm guessing he's from YouTube. £287? Is he in chat? I feel really bad. No, I don't feel bad, because that was still pre-stream. Dude, if you're in chat, I don't know. Hello. He says, thanks for all the content you've made over the years. I've been watching for over a decade now, and I want to give something back. Love from New Zealand. Thank you, man. That's so lovely of you. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you. Wick with £43, who says, thanks for all the great content. Krizerak with £3. Hey, WP, I love the content. I'm ecstatic to see you streaming again. I can't always catch the streams, but I hope my small donation will help you reach your new goal for the PC. I'm looking forward to some amazing more content with you from the new PC. Thanks very much, man. I don't know. I mean, we got a long way to go, and £3 is peanuts, so you never know. But in all honesty, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you very much. Naxia Lassif with 20. Hot potatoes are good. Hot computers are bad. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm at least lucky it's freezing cold IRL lately, so it's keeping me cool. Amala with £10. Thank you. Mr. Sir Man Dude Guy 7861 with 36. Been a long time viewer since Heart of Thorns, and your videos always help to keep me excited to play Guild Wars 2 when I start to feel burnout. Your Stellaris series helped me through my deployment last year, and I hope this small donation can make up for the years of entertainment. Thanks, man. I'm in a weird place with Stellaris at the moment. What you guys didn't see is that during November, I was making an espionage mod, and I was making a war mod, like a ground combat mod, and I was really into it, and I was getting a lot better at coding and using Visual Studio Code. I was doing really well. And then Paradox announced a bunch of features I'd been working... And First Contact... I say I was working on espionage. I'm lying. I wasn't working on espionage. I was working on First Contact. My First Contact mod, which appeared in that series. And I had all this inspiration and these new ideas for it. I wanted to clean it up, sort it out. And I was so excited about it. And then Paradox revealed that in their espionage update, First Contact is getting reworked. And I don't know why, but I kind of hate that. Wow, our shoulders look so shiny. Shiny. Our shoulders look shiny. Our shoulders look shiny. I don't know what's wrong with me, but somehow that just like killed it for me. I don't know why. I don't know what I was imagining my mod was going to be or whatever in terms of the... I don't know what's wrong with me. It's such a selfish, like, egotistical, like, gross thing, but it's true that now I'm like, I just feel bad whenever I think about the game now. I mean, I sunk a ton of hours into modding that. And the point is, it's all going to go in the bin because there's no need for it anymore, and it wouldn't work anyway once this new stuff comes out. It's very weird modding for a game that is under such active development. I'm used to modding for, like, Bethesda products that don't really get that many patches, or if they do, they're kind of in specific areas of the game, and I don't know. So, look, I adore Paradox. I really do. And I love the way that they support their games and keep them going and how big and sweeping the updates are. And I think it's great that there's going to be a real first contact overhaul and all that stuff. I just feel a bit empty now. One day, because now the land combat thing, the ground combat mod that I was making, I really was investing a lot in. I have all these spreadsheets and shit about all these old cut content that I'm bringing back. I had so much that I was doing. And now I'm just sitting there looking at all that and I'm thinking, they're just going to add their own version of this. And it's going to be slightly different to what I did. And everything I'm inspired about and really excited about from a design perspective is not going to translate. And I don't know. So they've done a bunch of dev diaries, and for the first time ever, I'm not reading their dev diaries. So anyway, and how that all relates to YouTube and stuff, I don't know. I was in a bad place when I was doing that mod. I was doing all this stuff that was fun, but I couldn't see how it would ever help the channel, and I don't know. It's just that weird world we live in now where people are told that if they're having fun, they need to be making money out of it somehow. And I was just making these Stellaris mods, and I was just telling myself, no, that's unhealthy. If you're having fun coding, if you're having fun learning this shit, just do it. Do you know what I mean? Stop thinking about YouTube with absolutely everything. That's what I did, so. Anyway, TJ says, hey WP, been watching your videos a long while now and enjoyed every single video you put out, especially your Let's Play. Thank you. I assume you mean the Guild Wars one. Here's a little payback for all the hours of entertainment you've given me. Keep up the wonderful work. Thank you very much. That was £7. Ballin Hamster with £7. Thanks for all the content. I hope you're doing well. Sidian, hey WP, been watching a long time, and I hadn't supported ads outside before. Don't see myself making any streams, so I figured I'd leave my IGN, as I know you like to reach out to people, so I figured I would leave that as an option. Well, thank you. Thanks very much. That was for £5. What's this? Medium shaders make metal more shiny. Is that what it is? Is it because I went medium instead of... Oh, I do remember reading about this, actually. After I just bragged about how much I'd looked into that stuff. Yeah. I've got someone I want to message about that. Yeah, that's interesting. Because you're going to lose fidelity and quality elsewhere. For whatever reason. Or reasons. Steph. With £17. This is Reg. Good morning. If we fix your computer, we'll be getting the 12 videos back, right? That's how that works? Yeah, actually. It's not cancelled or anything. It's just I don't know the timing. Here's to spreading beyond Guild Wars, becoming more financially stable. Thank you very much. I read a really interesting comment from one of you guys yesterday. Did I mention this on the stream? But they basically said, WP, you should play Elder Scrolls Online and FF14. And then you have, like, the trinity of the big MMOs. And you should just, like, compare and contrast those games and cover all three of them. Like, you'd have a massive audience if you were doing that. And the truth is, I'm a Final Fantasy fan. I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. I don't really know why I've never properly given those games a shot. So I was thinking about privately, like, looking into those or something. You never know. Linny and Avalanche said £43. Said £43? Tipped. Donated £43.82. Hey WP, I've been watching for years. We truly appreciate the content and the humility. Even when considering asking for support, we hope this helps get you a new setup without constantly fearing for crashes. Thank you very, very, very much. That's what we're doing exactly right now. Yeah, Harry Guild Wars says, how does the Trinity not include WoW? Exactly. It's like they're a Trinity and then sitting above them, like some fucking oppressive dystopic overlord, is World of Warcraft that peers down from its fucking pedestal and spits on them in every now and then if it thinks that they're getting out of line, you know, by pushing its release date close to your expansion release date or something. That's how I view Western MMOs. You have Overlord WoW sneering down at these three, you know, smaller MMOs that are jostling for the podium at number 2. And And I really have no interest in WoW, not even remotely. So you'd never see that. But maybe the other three. Last Scucks, £28. Thank you very much. All the years of content. I can't wait to see your End of Dragons coverage. I actually combined my thank you with your message there. But thank you, in all honesty. Andrew Lybrand with £3. No message, but thank you. Brent with 37. Who said, per tweet, I hope your mother is recovering well. She still is. I waited a good while before that tweet because I didn't want to make that tweet and then she goes back in and she deteriorates, right? Like, half of the thing about all this panic and stuff is that you don't know what's going to happen. So I really wanted to be quite sure before I did it. So, yeah, she's recovering. Thank you very much. Seilu, £3. As someone who's been playing Guild Wars franchise since the launch of Factions, I have also always resonated with your videos and your point of view on the series as a whole. Thank you for keeping me interested all these years. I hope your PC kicks sale butt. Thanks very much. I always wonder when I read stuff like that. What about like some of my more controversial opinions, like no raiding easy mode, or that mounts in Corteria should have had a resource mechanic, like an exhaustion mechanic, or that gliding shouldn't have come to Corteria, at least not before 80. Stuff like that. What about those opinions? What about being an... Like, I will admit when I was on the wrong side of history, I stood against account-bound legendaries. I stood against that shit. You can go back and listen to some of the Visual Wood podcasts while it was in the Guild Wars 2 mode, and you can hear me debating Matt about it. I didn't like that. So what about these situations? Harry, £5. Thank you. I appreciate the content. And I have a little to give, so here you go. Anonymous with 4. Thank you. No message. L with 87. L, £87. I know you like donations with a question, but 255 characters not enough to ask it or tell you why I donated. I'll write it as L in the comments of End of Dragons Daily 30. You don't have to feature it. I just look forward to your answer on a VOD or elsewhere. Oh, okay, so... The thing is, I can't search for L. That doesn't work. You need to give me, like, a keyword. If I search all my comments for L, I'm going to get every instance of everyone who's ever used the letter L in any message. That's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to find it off the cuff here. Is L in chat at the moment? Do you want to help me out? Oh, I've already answered it. Was it featured? Any L's in chat? See, if you guys were Zoomers, you'd be spamming L right now. Whippy, 42 months. 42 times you have called me Harry Guild Wars. 42 times I've told you that it's just my initials. They're laughing at me in chat. You have told me that before. You have told me that. I'll try to remember that. But come on! You're putting GW there? Right, Alistar with... sorry, L. We'll have to come back to that. Alistar tipped £35. Jack's Lament with £10. HWP loving End of Dragons Daily, as well as your other work. Keep it up. Looking forward to Daggerfall and everything else you have in the pipeline. Thanks for the content. Well, look, there isn't much of a pipeline at the moment in terms of, like, stuff I have in a backlog or whatever. You're seeing what I'm making. I'm trying to be very in the moment with what I'm producing. But as far as ambitions are concerned, yeah, that's all still there. So thank you very much. We're nearing the end here, I think. Liar Paradox with 7. Thanks for all the years of fascinating videos. They've kept me playing Guild Wars long after I would have otherwise moved on. Cheers. Thank you very much to you. Forever Leaf with £10. Thank you for all the great content over the years. Sammy B. Didn't we already read Sammy B? Is that chat? Teamwork for the years of videos. Get that PC, boy. That was £10. Thank you. Oh, guys. This guy typing boy. I was looking for... I'm not going to link to this because I don't want to be in the business of making fun, I guess. But I watched the most hilarious video yesterday. To tell you the truth, it was a little bit earlier than that. In which I found some kid with like a perfect mic setup on YouTube. Like, he doesn't have the clippy graininess. He doesn't have it. Even people with really professional, well set up mics often have this thing that I'm hearing, and it's really bad on mine. But this kid didn't have it. And he was talking about, like, his processes. I'm going to keep this vague so you guys can't find the video. He was talking about his processes. Anyway, he sounded like a 13-year-old British boy with a rather posh but very, very like juvenile, like little accent. And he's doing this video, and I'm like swallowing my pride, right? Just watch it. You know, he might be 14, like legitimately 14, but he has something to teach you. So you sit and you listen, you know, you're not above him just because you're older. You know, fuck all that, right? He's got something for you. So anyway, I listened to the whole video. He's like a little nerdy, like British boy, and he signs it off by saying, "It's your boy, peace out." He did like the whole thing. It was so funny. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard. Because he just blurted it out like it had all been very proper the whole way, and all of a sudden he's talking about how he's my boy and you need to smash that thing and peace, peace, peace. He did the deep peace. He was like, yeah, it's been your boy, blah, 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 blah. And then he ended with peace, like as deep as he possibly could. And I just thought, fuck me, like these people think that that's what it takes. They're all their inspiration, everyone they watch, they all do this like insane shit, and they're like, that's what it means. That's how you do it. It was fantastic. It was so over the top. I can't believe it wasn't satire. But I can believe, because it was just, you know, and it was you know, it was a kid that was trying to teach people about stuff, and I don't want to be mean, but it was very funny. Lanky Lion, £25. Thank you very much. Hey WP, I want to give you a little bit back after what is several years of enjoying your work. Fingers crossed this helps towards your new PC, ready for your future endeavors. I hope you're keeping well and that you keep enjoying what you do. I'm really enjoying what I do at the moment. I'm really enjoying Guild Wars at the moment, so there you have it. Lum Lum. I don't like subscription services, but I hope to help you a bit in this way. Have you tried getting a sponsorship with any PC manufacturer? Look, we're small fish here. I don't think I can get a sponsorship, really. Maybe I can, but I think if you're a channel around my size or smaller, and you've got like affiliate links everywhere and sponsorships everywhere and all that kind of shit, to me it just looks like really desperate and corporate, and like quite transparently you're in this gig for money, and that automatically makes me cynical of you as a person. That is my honest to God feelings. That is really how I feel, and I kind of don't want to exhibit that, you know. People are obviously welcome to run and conduct themselves however they like, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watch people smaller than me or around my size that do a ton of that stuff, but to me it just feels there's something I don't like about it. I don't know. So, and I'm not saying I would never do that kind of stuff. I would just rather do it when I'm at a size where it's like a legitimate thing, you know, and where I feel like I've earned it. And I appreciate how judgy that looks and how terrible that looks while I'm in the middle of a stream where I'm reading all this generosity people have just thrown at me. I appreciate how gross that is. But, you know, these thoughts predate this initiative, so well, I'll always be honest. So anyway, Joel in CZ with £100. Big fan, mostly listen to you during work. So much so, watching the video, wrong timing to spend money on upgrading and replacing a GPU, so here's something a little to help you continue. Thank you, man. £100 is a massive contribution. And yes, while GPUs are bad at the moment, I think CPUs are okay. I think it's still a good time to buy a CPU. But thank you, man. Anonymous with 200. I've been here for several years. I'm pretty shy, so I don't engage in comments or stuff. But I'm still here, not missing a single one of your videos. My past months were tough, and watching your content made my days a bit brighter. Thanks, man. I mean, I didn't even make good content through December. So I really appreciate that. And hey, listen, you're me, just so that no one's going to have this impression of me. But the way I actually conduct myself on the internet, if it's not in association with wooden potatoes, I don't say anything. I'm a lurker. 100% I'm a lurker. I don't leave comments. I don't engage. I'm just one of the silent majority. So I very much understand your perspective. I know that there are a ton of people like you out there. And, you know, I appreciate you. So thank you very much for that. Okay, and finally, here we go. Toby Nano with £2. Keep up the good work, you sexy beast. Oh, and Anonymous with £3. Came back to the game after 8 years. Discovered potatoes made of woods. Good vibe. I think we're caught up now. Just to be safe. Kyle with £5. Thanks for all your work. I think I read that yesterday. Henrik with 8. Replace that tin can.